Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I am continuing with Final Fantasy III for the PSP. So in between episodes, I got all of my party members up to level 30 in anticipation of the next boss encounter, which unfortunately is going to happen once we head into the Castle of Saronia. So the reason I did this is a couple of reasons. One, mainly I needed the HP boost because the next boss is very devastating with one of their attacks. And two, I wanted to get my speed up as high as possible so that my characters could potentially go before that boss is able to use that really devastating attack. So we're going to run by all these guys, continuing their standoff, and we're going to see if we can get entrance to the castle now that we have the prince in tow. So the prince asked these guys to let us through, and they are not going to let us. Well, oh well. Let's turn around and go away. Wait a minute. Now the king wants us to come in. Interesting. So that's it then. King's back to normal. Don't worry about it, Alus. Everything's okay. So we're going to head in, and basically the guard is going to tell us that the king will see us in the morning. So in the meantime, they're going to give us food, and they're going to give us places to sleep. How nice. You might want to check the food and make sure there isn't anything in it that shouldn't be. And while we're sleeping here, not surprisingly, I suppose, the prince is having trouble sleeping. After all, the king did cause him to leave the castle and forced him out. So I have a feeling Alus is feeling a kinship here with Ark. Both of them have had issues with feeling bullied by other people. So he's going to confide in Ark. And Ark is going to tell him, basically, you know, parents don't change. They never stop loving their kids. You're being paranoid. Don't worry about it. He'll come around. We'll explain everything and everything will be okay. And the prince is okay with that, I suppose. I guess we'll see. Oh, there. It's the king. Well, this is going to resolve itself very quickly. What the? Why has he got a knife? Why is he saying he's going to kill his son? Stop. Don't do it. Gigameth. I have a feeling this is the person that's been pulling the strings this whole time. Oh no! King Gorn! He stabbed himself. Now we had lots of time during that scenario to stop him, to tackle him, or get the knife out of his hand, but I guess this was our only option. Man, Gigameth has a pretty awesome beard, if I'm being honest. So basically, Gigameth has been controlling the king, forcing him to do all of these terrible things, and now he's going to kill us? Well, you're welcome to try. In reality, this is a very difficult battle, especially if you're at a lower level. So this is Garuda. So we are going to jump. That is the goal. Jump, jump, jump. And then we will try to cure everybody. So the most dangerous thing Garuda can do is use a lightning ability, which can hit everyone in your party for around 500 points of damage? So he didn't actually use it. That's surprising. He tends to use it and then follow it up with a physical attack, or vice versa. He'll do a physical attack first and then do lightning. But thankfully he didn't. He just attacked our white mage. So Refia, you're the only one still around. Everyone else is in the air. Now if we get lucky here, we may kill him in just one round. Oh man. Ouch. Thank you for attacking Hingis. Come on. Yes. Down he goes. So Garuda has about 10,000 hit points. So again, if you can do around 3,000 to 3,500 points of damage per turn with all three of your Dragoons, you can kill him in one round. So that worked really well. Obviously, if you're a lower level, the chances are you're not going to kill him one round and have to deal with his lightning attack. But here's the prince and the king. The king was being forced to do what he was doing by Gigameth. And now the king is dying. And so he's leaving it all on his young prince's shoulders. Fix all of the problems that I made. But at least he was able to express himself and say that he loved him. And are we going to get a pullback shot here? Scream to the heavens? No. He has a lot of responsibility to take care of. He doesn't have time to grieve. So Ark is going to commiserate here with the prince, although I guess he's now the king. But I'm guessing they have to do some sort of a ceremony to make him king. Not that we get to see that. But he's going to take his father's place and undo all of the horrible things that he did, such as he can, right? You can't bring back people that have died, but he certainly can end the policies that have been in place. So that's it then. They're all ready to move on. The king has only been dead for a few minutes. His body is still warm, but we're ready to crown this new king. Alright, so I did some party management. I switched my two characters back to their original classes of Thief and Knight. And now we're going to go talk to everybody and also search for some hidden treasure in this castle. So we're going to talk first to the king, as he is now called. And again, he notes that there is no time for grief. They'll have to mourn later. For now, they are going to focus on reviving their kingdom. And he gives us permission to take anything that we want. Not that we needed your permission. It's an RPG. We're going to take what we want anyway. That's what heroes do. And these two bards are going to tell us some interesting things about some areas in the game that we'll get to eventually, including the Temple of Time. I don't think we're going to find a master sword there, but we're certainly going to maybe find something interesting if we end up there. And like all of the previous characters, it was the darkness that overwhelmed Gigameth and turned him into Garuda. So there's a secret passage to a treasure area. You're never going to guess where it is. It's totally not marked by a certain discolored spot in the wall. But we're going to go there and get all of the stuff we can. Now, a lot of it is not very useful, so we're going to head to the right here to find the secret area. But it's stuff. We can sell a lot of it and get some money from it. And some of it is just useful stuff. The rusty mail, not so much. But the ice rod is useful. So that's sort of a secondary ice elemental staff that does the second level ice spell when used as an item in battle. So that'll replace our original ice staff. So there's a few things. A lot of them are existing items that we already have or could have had with access to in previous areas. But again, they're extra stuff, and they're stuff if we don't want it, we can always just sell. So we're going to head to the south again and find another hidden area. So down another flight of stairs, not to the left, but to the right through another discolored area of the wall. There's a few more items. And then once we grab all this stuff, we're going to head back up to the main area, and we have to figure out where to go next. And specifically, we have to figure out how we're going to travel around, since remember our airship was destroyed by cannon fire in the couple episodes ago. Alright, so we're back to the main area. So let's head out into the courtyard. Talk to a few more people, some of the knights. We're going to remind us that Saronia is one of the most technologically advanced societies in the world. And that they do have engineers that potentially can make airships. So yeah, this is the jerk that shot us down with the cannons. You shouldn't be proud of that. You almost killed us. And if you had killed us, we would not have been able to save your kingdom. So there is a library in Saronia. It is in northwest Saronia. We'll be getting to that eventually. I'll show off all the books in there. It does have some interesting information, kind of historical records, as well as some hints on some secret areas you can access. And the wizards in here give us a little bit more information about Noah and his disciples. So he had 3 apprentices. And basically that's kind of our clue to what to do next. We have to go to the Dalg continent, which is to the south. So it was the place where we couldn't progress north because of massive winds when we tried to go in. So that's kind of our cue where to go next. Yeah, it does sound familiar. I'm saying it in your head. Or, you know, whatever. People have talked about it previously. So we're going to head to the south here because there's another hidden area that we can progress through. This one requires a little bit more finessing to get around the walls and get into the southernmost area. There's not a ton down here, it's just 2 treasure chests with Phoenix Downs. But there's an interesting little side area that we cannot yet access. So one of the people in town mentioned that there's a tunnel that leads from the castle out to the water. This is the tunnel. It's just that it's been sealed off for some reason. So I guess maybe that'll come back and we'll be able to access it in the future. Who knows? Alright, so all that's left is figuring out some form of transportation. So in order to get that, we need to head over to the right here to the last of the areas in the castle. And in this particular room, there are 4 scholars who are also engineers. And they are, as they say, the greatest minds in the world. And so they found a flying airship called the Nautilus, and they're going to fix it up for us so that we can use it. And there's actually 4, so here's the 4th guy. So they'll fix that up and allow us to use it. And what's nice about the Nautilus is it's actually quite a bit faster than what the Enterprise was. I guess the only downside about the Nautilus is that it can't turn into a ship. So it can't go on water yet. However, it can land on the Earth. So basically it can land on any sort of terrain except water surfaces. So now we don't have to land in water. We can actually land on the land, which is helpful because there were certain areas we couldn't access before because of the limits of the Enterprise. So the Nautilus was built by an old-timey genius, and he was in flight on an airship when the world was covered in darkness, huh? Wonder what happened to them. Yeah, who knows? We may never find out. But their next ambition was to create a machine that could go underwater. A submarine. Yes, if only it could go underwater. This is totally not hinting at possibilities that might happen in the future. Pay no attention to that. But heading outside the castle, we will find the Nautilus, and then we have 1 or 2 more things I want to do before we end this episode. So now that we've defeated Garuda, we can actually get another letter in the chain between Refia and Taka. So we're going to head to the southeast Saronia township, and we're going to access the letter Moogle. So this is the Nautilus. It actually looks a lot like a submarine, doesn't it? But it flies, so that's good. So we're going to head into southeast Saronia, and we're going to talk to the Moogle with Refia in the front position of our party. And this will allow us to get one of the letters from Taka we've been waiting on. And that is information about a master smith. So I believe you have to talk to Taka in order to continue the quest for the pendant for Princess Sarah in order to get this letter. So make sure that you activate that quest trigger if you want to find this letter. But he notes that there's a legendary smith kind of patrolling the world, and that coincidentally, they just happen to be in Saronia. Now, he doesn't say that, but we know that. So, where the smith is in the northwest corner of the township. But in the northeast corner of the northwest version of Saronia. So here she is. So the legendary smith is going to fix Princess Sarah's pendant as part of that quest, but more importantly, she opens up a few other things. So once you've achieved about 60% of your bestiary and found about 60% of the creatures in the world, you're going to get another quest line of letters that will allow you to fight an optional boss and get access to a special type of metal that the smith is actually looking for. And then once you get that metal, you can bring it back to the smith and they will turn it into a weapon for you. And the other purpose that the smith plays is for your job classes. When you reach 99 on your job levels, you'll need to talk to the legendary smith in order to get the special job specific item that comes along with that, the reward. So the smith says, "You don't need to pay me. I'm happy to help you out, provided you find me a special metal that I've been looking for." So be on the lookout for that, and if you find that metal, bring it back to us. And we will. Unfortunately, the smith does move around. There are numerous locations that the smith can be in the world. And now that we found her in Saronia, she's going to start moving around. And so it's going to be harder to find her in the future. But we'll figure it out, we'll do it, and in the future when we need to find her, we'll check out some of those locations until we're able to actually locate her. So we accept the challenge. Now we need to head back to the princess and give her her pendant. So I'll finish up this episode by giving the pendant back to Princess Sarah. In my next episode, I'm going to do some shopping in Saronia, and we'll also check out the library, and then we'll head to the continent of Dog. As always, viewers, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all next time as we continue onward. So long.